So the problem I was having with my extruder was if I tightened the bolts too tight, then the motor would skip. And if I loosened the bolts, then these inner gears would slip. So something mechanically is wrong. We could always add more power to the motor, but there's a basic issue here that must be resolved first. So first I inspected this part. There's no problems here. The gears can be tightened and there's no binding. Likewise, this gear has no problems as well. In order to make these parts not slip, they must be held together with considerable force, and it's only the friction along this outside edge transferred to the ridge in the plastic gear, which is transferred to the face of this part, which is transferred again to the ridge of the gear and goes through this part into the inner races of the bearings. So those parts must be held very tightly together in order for them to not slip. So here's our culprit. This bolt should press against the inner race of the bearing. The inner race of the bearing should transfer its force to this little flange that sticks out of this second gear. The inner surface of the outer gear should not come in contact with the surface of this gear. But as you can see, they do come in contact. Now when this bolt is tightened up, which is required in order to make these parts to act as a single unit, then considerable pressure is applied pushing these two gears together, and this gear will now bind when it should be free moving. So how do we fix it? Well, one way, we could sand this gear down so that even when the bolt is tightened, the inner race is pressing against the flange, and so you could see just maybe a little bit of daylight between the two gears. Or we could put a washer that was just big enough to separate these gears. I think I'll give that option a try, and I think then that will make this gear spin beautifully even when this bolt is tightened considerably. Well, thanks for your consideration. I hope this helps solve your problems as well. Thank you.